Hello, movie lovers. It's Friday afternoon, and you're with Bob. Now I watch movies all week. I get on here on Friday and I tell you which ones I watch. That's all it is. Keep repeating myself, but so it's just a story about what I watch. Sometimes I watch a lot, sometimes I watch a few, and who knows? Who knows what you're going to do all week, right? There's things to do in life, and sometimes, you watch 3, 5, 7, 12, who knows what you're going to watch. Anyway, this is for all you movie lovers, and you know who you are, right? So let's get on with the movies. Oh, let's see, what did I watch? Alright, this has got my little book here, right? Because, I can't remember everything. I'm at least 32 years old and I forget stuff. On the movie channel here in Toronto, Canada, the movie channel. Crave TV, that's what you want to call it. Anyway, I call it the movie channel. So whatever movies I watch. I watched a movie called The Old Man and the Gun. Pretty sure it starred Robert Redford. True story. This really did happen. There was really a person. Based on a true story of Forrest Tucker, who escaped from prison at the age of 70. And he robbed a bunch of banks. He was a nice guy, too. He talked to the girls when he robbed them, and he was very polite. He was nice. Everybody liked him. And he meets a girl. He meets somebody. He takes her out, buys her lunch and stuff. He's a really nice guy. But he's got one little problem. He likes robbing banks. Yeah, he's got a gun, but he never uses it. So he walks in with a bag, a suitcase kind of thing, right? Like an office-looking suitcase with snaps on it. Puts it on the counter and tells the girls to put the money in the bag. So this goes on for a long time, and then this one cop starts putting things together, adding things up and all that stuff, and starts chasing them around all over the place. Yeah, it's a real good story. I liked it. I give it a 7. It's a worthwhile movie to watch, but it's, like I said, sometimes if you watch this movie once, you're good. It's a good movie to watch. But I don't know about watching it another time. But 7 out of 10 for a movie that, you can watch. No, that's not bad at all. So there you go. The Old Man and the Gun. 7 out of 10. Alright, let's go with the other one here. TCM. Movies on TCM this week, yes. This movie's like 61 minutes long. It's one of those movies from the 1930s, right? 60, 70 minutes. Boom. They get right into it, right? They don't piss right around. They start telling you a story. They don't waste any time. Most of them, anyway. Not all of them, but most of them. 1932, starring Joan Blondell. Was she a dish or what? She made a lot of movies in the 30s. She was with Jimmy Cagney in a few movies. I don't know how many, but there was a few of them. Anyway, she's a star in this movie, you can tell, right? Joan Blondell and Wallace Ford, along with Guy Gibby. Everybody knows Guy Gibby, right? Character actor. He's a great guy. There's a young girl, Blondell, and a young man, Wallace Ford, and they're in Central Park, right? New York, Central Park. And most of the movie takes place in Central Park. They're both hungry, starving, they don't have a job, So, it starts off where they're both hanging around a hot dog stand, and this kid playing baseball or something smashes the glass and something, like ball goes through. So he comes out and he chases the guy away. He chases the guy standing looking at the wieners, right? Anyway, Blondell comes over and scoffs up a couple of sausages, right, and buggers off. So she goes and they start talking to the young guy. She gives him one of her sausages and they talk and chat. And then she gets hooked up with these cops. They say they're cops, right? And they want her to work for them, right? Make $100. She's got no money, right? And she thinks they show her badges and all that stuff, and one thing leads to another. So she's working with these bad guys. Anyway, that's the story. And also there's a lion running around that escapes from the zoo right in the park. So that's funny. There's a lion chasing people. But that's Central Park, 1932 at TCM. Joan Blondell and Wallace Ford. It was fun. It's a laugh. I give it a 6 out of 10. I thought it could have been a little bit better, but it was all right. 60 minutes, 70 minutes. Yeah, 60 minutes long. So it's a good little watch. It's worth a 6 out of 10. Maybe a little bit better, but at least a 6. All right, it's moving on. Down, move it, Bob. All right, TCM also, 1971. This is 1971. And this movie is Shaft. I don't know if you all know Shaft or not, but this is Richard Roundtree. He's in the new movie too, Shaft. That's out at the theaters. Anyway, he gets hired by a Harlem mobster, you know, like a gangster, to find his kidnapped daughter. I think I fell asleep watching this movie. At least I had a nap or something, if I remember right. So, anyway, I wasn't too thrilled over it. Doesn't do anything. They're just standing around, talking, chatting, smoking cigars, looking tough. Nothing really happens till almost a half an hour near the end of the movie. Things start, at least start moving along. But we're, I don't know, what is it, an almost 2-hour long movie? It's boring. I didn't like it. It's boring. I would never watch Shaft again. No, it's like one of those movies you watched it once. I don't have no intentions of watching Shaft again. I give it a 4 out of 10. All right, let's see this one. Oh yeah, another movie channel. Deep Blue Sea 2. I don't even know if there's a Deep Blue Sea 1. I can't remember. I don't know. It's about a billionaire, right? He's on this platform with buildings and stuff, and they're looking into sharks, doing things. I have no idea what you do to sharks, but they're supposed to be making sharks smarter, in the brain department. Yeah, doing an experiment on sharks. The shark's eyeballs, they go like this. Yeah, they're thinking, hey. I'm thinking, oh my God. So I watched this movie, and I'm thinking, all right. So there's here we go. There's 6 or 7 people, right? And right off the bat, even before I watched the movie, I'm getting the drift. I'm thinking, oh no. It's all right, how many people are going to be left at the end of the movie, those movies? 1 or 2 people maybe, Anyway, so there's an explosion, the shark gets loose, and then the next thing you know, there's a bunch of baby sharks. They remind me of a bunch of piranhas running around, and they chitter chatter. They sound like a bunch of freaking squirrels. Excuse me. Anyway, it's snack time, right? Meal time, right? You know what I mean? You got to eat, right? So the baby sharks got to eat. So there's an explosion. The buildings start falling in. The water starts entering these buildings that are out on the water, right? And they're filling up with water. And the next thing you know, the baby sharks are running inside the building, and they come across somebody, and they start attacking her, him and her, right? And they start ripping their flesh off people and their face and stuff. It's lovely, good stuff. Anyway, that movie gets, I give it a 5 out of 10. Watch it once, you don't have to watch it again. Yeah, a bunch of baby sharks running around eating people. All right, is that it for that? No. Is that it? Oh, okay. Yeah, no. All right. Here's one here, too. This one. The last woman on Earth from 1960. Black and white. Yeah. While vacationing in Puerto Rico, Harold and Evelyn Glenn go skin diving with their friend. When they surface from the underwater adventure, the trio discover themselves as the only people left alive on the island. I don't know about any place else, but the island they're on, everybody else is freaking dead. So they conclude that interruption of oxygen in the atmosphere had killed those on the surface level. One day, you got the air breathing in the air, and all of a sudden the air stops, right, and everybody dies, except for these 3 clowns that were in the ocean, right, with their air things on. They come up, right, and I can't breathe, put the air back on. Anyway, they go roaming around the island, they got the whole place to themselves, cars, regular last man on their shit, right? So now faced with the possibility of being the last people alive on the planet, the 2 men turn on each other in order to vie for the attention of Evelyn. Right? There's two guys, one girl. What the hell do you think's gonna happen? I want her. No, you can't have her. I want her. She's my wife. I don't give a shit. Anyway, this movie is terrible. It's a bomb. Was this Corbin? Or what's his name? I forget now. Craven? Was this Craven? Wes Craven? Maybe it was Wes Craven, I forget. But anyway, this is a terrible movie. It's not even a good terrible movie, because there are such a thing as what is it, good movies or bad movies that are what is it called, a classic, like a good movie. You can have a giggle. This one here is just bad. The Last Woman on Earth. Right, so that's terrible. So don't bother watching it. You can watch it once for a laugh, but it's a bad movie. All right, so let's see what else is here. What else did I watch? Oh yeah, here's one. Excuse me again. 10 North Fredericks. See, I have it. See, Wolf? I got it. Anyway, this is from 1958. Stars Gary Cooper, right? Now, he's an old guy. Now, he's 50-something years old, right? So, he has a daughter, son, and wife. I said wife, but So anyway, he goes out and visits his daughter in town, and his daughter has a friend. Nice looking girl, right? Tall, thin, nice face, nice lips, nice legs. He kind of goes, Anyway, his daughter's not there, so he takes her out on a date, right? They go dancing. She goes out with him and goes dancing. One thing leads to another. And his home life's really shitty. Everything's falling apart, right? It's Shitsville at home. We try true, right? So he kind of gets enamored with this girl, right? His daughter's friend. So they see each other. He's sliding out of the house and going out with her and stuff like that, right? And they go away and they go to this cottage, I guess, and they go into town and they meet a bunch of people. They're at a bar or a restaurant. And she meets a couple of her friends or somebody, and everybody's roaming around and punching each other, and he gets knocked down. You pick him up, and we originally thought, some of them thought that Gary Cooper was her father. Because that happens a lot when an old fuck, I shouldn't say old fuck, sorry, goes out with a young girl. You have a 50-something-year-old guy going out with a 22 or 23-year-old girl. People naturally assume that your dad, right? So, I mean, in this movie is like, in a reality sense, the old guy comes to a thing when he realizes, right, that, yeah, right, he's old and she's young. I get it. He gets it. It's like, yeah, that's not a good thing. Because that's sometimes what you think about, right? If you're 50 or 60 or 74 years old, right, and you're married to a 28-year-old girl, and she has a baby, and the baby is 2 years old or 3 years old, right? I mean, it happens. Are you going to see your baby grow up to go to grade 8? Maybe. You're going to be around to see him go to college, him and her go to college? You're going to see him getting married? No, I don't think that's happening. So, by rights, the baby is going to miss their dad. They're probably not even going to get to know him. I mean, maybe. Everything's a possibility, but so that's what happens to people that are older when they marry young people. It's called, I think, in a roundabout way, people do it all the time. But sometimes, you got to think about it, right? If you're 50 years old and the girl's 22 and you have a baby, is that baby going to be around? You're going to see that baby in another 20 years? No, you're going to leave the kid, and the kid's always going to be wondering, that was my dad. Anyway, I'm on a rant. 10 North Fredericks. I like this movie. I like the movie. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'd watch this one again. I've never seen this movie. This is the first time. I had this movie for years. Can you believe that? I probably had it for, I don't know, 8 or 10 years, maybe. It's in my box over there. I got movies that I've never watched. But this is from 1958. Gary Cooper, Yeah, I like this one. I like this one. 10 North Fredericks. He thought about it. He really sat down and thought about it. But I'm not going to tell you the ending. I can't tell you the ending. I can't tell you what happened, but it's a good movie. You should watch it. And here's the movie here too. This one, Gary Grant. This is Gary Grant. Now Gary Grant is in a movie from 1952, I think it was, yeah. Room for One More. He's with his wife, Betsy Drake. Now, his wife has three children, and she loses. They lose a baby. The fourth one, they lost him. So she's going around, thinking about things. So she ends up at a orphanage with all her friends. The teetotalers. Yeah, the ladies. Anyway, they're there, right? And anyway, make a long story short, she gets this young girl, probably 12 years old, maybe, give or take a year. But they drop her off at her house and, see how she likes it or see how they like it, and her three kids like her, etc., right? So it's a very good movie. Gary Grant plays a very good part, and Betsy Drake's good. The kids are all good. And, and then the girl, does the girl stay with them? She does. The girl does. So that's good. But, it takes a little bit of, give and go. And then they come across another little guy. He's got, braces on his legs and stuff. Right? He's a miserable kid. But that's another thing. They take him home and stuff like that. So that's Room for One More, Cary Grant. Cary, C-A-R-Y, Gary Grant. And Betsy Drake, like I said, his wife at the time, from 1952. I give this movie an 8. I like it. And it was also changed name to The Easy Way, which is the same movie. The first name of the movie was Room for One More, and they changed the name of the movie for some reason. I don't know why. But The Easy Way, 1952. So that's why there's two movies. I have two movies, same movie with two different titles. Anyway, good movie. 8 out of 10. You can watch this one again. It's fun. Sometimes gets you a little teary-eyed here and there. Not a solid cry, but a little misty-eyed. So that's Cary Grant. Oh yeah, and this one here. I've had this for a while too. Mamma Mia. And I just got around watching it. I have this every year sitting in the closet. So I pulled this up and I said, yeah, what the hell, I'll watch this. Meryl Streep, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, Stellan Skarsgård, Julie Waters. It's a fun movie. It's one of those fun movies. You can dance to it. What are you doing, Bob? Watching American Bandstand? No, it's fun. It's a giggle, it's a laugh, and that's what it is. And what's the other one? The other one after this one. What the heck was that? Mamma Mia 2 or something? Anyway, that was alright too. I got that too somewhere. But yeah, this is good. I like it. I give it a nice high 7 out of 10. Everything's fun in this movie. The barrel laughs. Oh yeah, I'll tell you a little story. This is for Rob. Rob, the one that knows who wants me to write a book. Anyway, back in, told him, I mentioned that I was, a good-looking guy, and I was a good kisser, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, one day I'm sitting on my veranda. They call it a veranda, porch. This is probably 66, 67, so I'd be about 15 or 16, something like that, teenager. Listening to Chum with the little brown transistor radio. This is probably a Saturday afternoon, right? And, all the girls are there, the guys are there. There's got to be about 8 or 10 of us, maybe 12. We're all sitting on the steps, on chairs, whatever. And we're all sitting there. Now, what we're doing is called kissing. Kissing. Practice. You practice kissing with the girls. So you get a girl, you kiss them all. Not one, but everybody's there kissing everybody, and except for the guys. You don't kiss the guys, but you kiss the girl. So you sit in a chair and she sits on your lap and you kiss. And so the girls are about 14 to 15, 16, right? Teenager stuff. So anyway, we're all kissing and that stuff, right? That's okay. So we're having a great time. Practice kissing. So I was known as a good kisser. So that was okay. So anyway, well, later on, I think it was the same day or the next day, one of the two, I go walking up street, up Caroline Avenue, and this girl that I know, her name's Barb. Anyway, Barb has a sister. I forget her sister's name now, but she lived up near the top of the street. So I was passing her, and she says to me, "I heard that you were a really good kisser." And I went, yeah, I guess so. And she says to me, "Prove it." I said, "Prove it?" She goes, "Yeah, prove it." So I pick her up and put her on the hood of a car, right? There's a car there, so I set her on the car and I bend her over, right? Bend her over by the car, and I give her a big kiss, right? Give her a little, kiss. Probably a good old tongue if I remember right. Not that, this was like 50 years ago. So I'm kissing her for a while, a minute or something, and I pick her up and stand her up and put her on the sidewalk. And she says to me, "My sister was right. You are a good kisser." So I said, "Oh, thank you very much." And I went, "Talk to you later." And that was the kissing thing. So yeah, I remember that quite well. But that's what we used to do when we were teenagers. We used to practice kissing with each other. Most of us had girlfriends, or you were going steady kind of thing, or whatever you want to call it, whatever the steady was for 2 months or whatever time period. But yeah, all the girls did it too, the boys did it, so that's what we used to do. We used to call it practice, like kissing, so you can be a good kisser. So anyway, it's got nothing to do with movies. That has just a kind of a little story for Rob, because Rob likes hearing the stories. He's another movie collector. He's got all kinds of movies, but he's a good guy, Rob. Anyway, so keep watching those movies, people, and keep kissing the girls. Later.